Barbados, get up.
Good morning Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Morning to you.
Indeed, good morning to you one and all. Welcome to the start of a brand new week. Good morning. It's Monday the 13th of April 2026, and thus my name is Pearson Bowen. It's wonderful having you company. Hope you feel the same. And a big thank you to all of you really for joining us on our streams on Facebook, YouTube, and also on our website cbc.bb. You've made an excellent choice to start your day and to start your week with us, and we thank you for doing so. Just share the show. Share the love. Bring others along to engage in what you do, and you know you do, every weekday morning from 6 o'clock, Monday through Friday. Thank you for doing so. And as you comment among yourselves, comment to us as well. We love to read your comments, so engage in the way you know I like to have you engage. So I thank you for already planning to do so. And of course, if you know of something or anyone who has a story to tell us about it. Point us in their direction, and you can do so by sending us an email. The email address is right there at the bottom of your screen. It's morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Thank you for doing so. So how was your weekend? What did you get up to at the weekend indeed? And so I know for sure that many of those who represented this island in multiple disciplines at the last weekend at the Carifta Games in Grenada and also at the Carifta Swim Meet in Martinique, they were feted in a big motorcade across the island. Look at that. Look at that. Look at these young people who did their absolute best and made us also very proud as a nation of people about who we are as Barbadians and their spirit to just achieve in spite of everything else and all the opposition that comes their way. And so Barbadians turned out in numbers and in their national colors in full support of them, and we give full support still to them, and we're looking forward to all the excitement. Damien Best found himself in the right space at the right time, and there you see people just rejoicing because we feel good when we do good. And so we want you all to continue, young people, continuing to do good in whatever endeavor, whether it's in sport or just your character, and I encourage you to do so even today. Thank you very much indeed. Now, on Saturday, I had the opportunity to be with the folks from Whitehall Methodist Church because they're marking 163 years of ministry in the space where they are. And so there was a massive concert at the Commemoration School Hall featuring the Barbados Police Service Band and other outstanding gospel artists from across this island. And boy, oh boy, did we have a really good time. So thank you to Whitehall Methodist for inviting me to be a part of it. And so to all of you who showed up and showed out, thank you for being warm and engaging as you engaged in the spirit as we raised it then at in the Commemoration School Hall on Saturday. Then on Sunday, I went home. Boy, did I go home. This is to the Bethesda Methodist Church in St. Lucie, where you know I'm from. And so it was an honor truly to have been invited to chair the Harvest program. I had a blast. There's such talent in the Methodist Church, and so we celebrate the Methodist Church. So thanks to all at Bethesda, my aunt, for inviting me to come chair. I would have gone anyhow, don't you worry about it. I would have been there nonetheless, but to be the one who led the program, I felt especially pleased and proud. Thank you for doing so. So to all of you who I met also at the weekend who say to me, boy, we wake up every morning, we don't miss the show. Thank you for not missing the show. Thank you for waking up to watch us as well and to engage in what we share. We planned this with love. We planned it just for you. And so we're excited about what we can share with you today, because today we're going into the Faculty of Medical Sciences, particularly in the Department of Preclinical Health and Health Sciences. And we want to share with you the programs they have on offer there as an undergraduate study and postgraduate studies as well, and how you can get in there. And there's a space for you if you have a passion for medical science. Also today, poetry. Yes, the organization known as Poetry, they're celebrating another anniversary, but they have done tremendous things to raise the profile of poetry and spoken word on this island. So we want to match them and have them here with us as we celebrate with them as well. As we prepare tomorrow's launch of the season of Emancipation, today we'll hear a little bit more about a documentary that chronicles 400 years post 1627 till now, and that documentary will be launched on Wednesday. But we want to give you a preview of what to expect when you head into the Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre on Wednesday, and why this is so critical to know our history of 400 years since 1627 till now. Also, To Serve with Love. You know the song by Lulu, but this is not the song we're talking about now. As a matter of fact, the Barbados Association of Professional Social Workers are engaging in a camp to really make a difference to the nation's children. We get details about that when they join me here this morning. We continue to remind you of why it's important as Barbadians we stand in solidarity and support of the folks in Cuba. And so the initiative to raise cash and kind continues, and so we will remind you of another way in which you can do so today. And before the day is done, Netball for All is in the DNA of the DNA Netball Club, and they're on island. They'll join us right here in Mornin Barbados as we explore the value of the sport and what it means to them and what it can mean to anyone of any age and any stage of life. So there's a lot to look forward to. Just stick around. We'll come back right after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray microbiome probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Books open your heart, your mind, and
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
My name is Dr. Damian Kohal, Dean of the Faculty of Medical Sciences, and I take this opportunity to welcome you to this distinguished faculty and the University of the West Indies, Cable Campus. This year is historic as both the University and Cable Campus celebrate respective anniversaries. The University has been established for 75 years this year, and the Cable Campus 60 years this year. On entering this university, you are destined to stand in the same always with many giants in the past and current in all fields related to regional development. We are proud of this distinguished records of our graduate, and you will get that opportunity to not only stand in the same always with these giants, but possibly be a giant on your own. Our suite of programs are delivered in our 2 new departments in the Faculty of Medical Sciences. These departments include the Department of Preclinical and Health Sciences and the Department of Clinical Sciences. The quality of our programs in this faculty are well primed. In fact, they are rated quite highly. This university is ranked in the top 1.5% of universities in Latin America and the Caribbean.
And so that's a wonderful welcome into the University of the West Indies, and particularly into the Faculty of Health Sciences, and so medical services and sciences. And the university is not just a building that stands right there at the top of Cave Hill. It is a living, breathing space where people do wonderful things and minds are trained for development of the region. And so we're going in now to the nursing program, in particular because we have the nursing program coordinator and lecturer in nursing in the Department of Preclinical and Health Sciences, Dr. Wendy Seeley. Dr. Seeley, good morning.
Good morning, Pearson. Thank you for having us.
You're very welcome indeed. And you brought along with you a couple of your students.
Yes, we have Ms. Zinnia Robinson, and Zinnia is a student in the Master of Science in Nursing, specializing in administration. And we have Mr. Kaelan Roach, a second-year student in the MBBS program. That's the Bachelor of Surgery and Medicine.
And I'm glad you expressed it the way you did, because oftentimes we think of medical sciences, we think it's only for the people who like to cut and stitch and those kinds of things, you know, to get under microscopes, and that's not all that happens there.
No.
So give me the breadth of the kinds of programs.
Well, I actually had to travel because there are so many. I actually had to have a list here with me. So we have undergraduate and postgraduate programs. In the undergraduate programs, we have the Bachelors of Health Sciences, the Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery, as I mentioned, Kaelan is from, the Bachelor of Science in Human Nutrition and Dietetics, and the Bachelor of Preclinical Sciences, which is a prerequisite for the MBBS program. Our postgraduate programs, however, are the Master of Public Health, the Master of Science in Nursing with specializations in education and administration. Zinnia is admin track. And we have the postgraduate diploma in pediatric nursing and the UE PAHO postgraduate certificate and diploma in health policy and health systems. That's not all. From the MPhil PhD perspective, we have the public health and epidemiology, immunology, medical microbiology, molecular medicine, and pharmacology. Quite a mouthful. So it's a plethora of suite of courses and programs that we do offer.
So you're attracting those with a passion for helping, and those who are with a passion also of not just in helping alone in terms of the hands-on experience, but who work from the idea of administration and policy and directives.
Most definitely. Within the context especially, and I can speak a lot to the nursing program, we are preparing nurse educators, and those are the persons who are going to be training the future nurses. We prepare administrators, those persons who are going to be managing our healthcare institutions. So Zinnia is a nurse already who's pursuing postgraduate training to be an administrator. And I'm sure you'll hear a lot more from her about her role and what she's doing and why she has made the choice to come to UWK-Phil.
What's the basic entry requirement like? So
for the undergraduate program, you must, in this case for nursing, you must be a registered nurse with at least 3 to 5 years post-registration experience, or practicing nurse with experience. And then pretty much having that particular qualification, that is key. A Bachelor of Science in Nursing, because obviously the minimum qualification for entry into nursing is now a bachelor's degree, and that is offered in Barbados at the Barbados Community College. Yes. And that's it. And pretty much an experience and interest within the context of the area of specialization. Obviously, academics are a key part, but we also recognize the importance of soft skills and commitment to the area of choice. So if you have a passion to be a trainer, an educator, that is key. Certainly as an administrator, that is key as well.
I keep thinking how practical it is, and I'm asking then I'm hearing a lot of theory in my head as I listen to you as well. So what's the balance like in terms of theory and practice?
Okay, so all of our programs are approved, go through the quality assurance process of being accredited. That's number one. The university has its own accreditation processes, as well as the Faculty of Medical Sciences. Each of the programs are accredited at their particular level. So the balance is that you have a set of theory, but you also have a set of practical. And even within the theory, it is critical to recognize that we pursue a lot of application. Zinni will tell you that a lot of our courses, we always go back to the real world situation. Actually, last week, they had a project to identify an issue in their own clinical setting and design a model to address that particular issue. So I always say to them, it's not only about passing an exam, but being able to apply what you've been taught to a real situation, even in your own clinical setting.
I like that. Actually, it sounds quite exciting. I like those kinds of challenges. And so if this is your passion, folks, you just want to help and advance not just technology alone, but advance medical science within the region, not just being able to attend to a person as a nurse alone, then these programs are for you. They truly are for you. Registration is open at the moment?
Registration is open. It closed at March, but for the postgraduate program specifically, our registration, I believe, has reopened and will continue until May 31st. And please, I know what I want to say is that a lot of our postgraduate programs are self-financed. So we know that persons have to put systems in place to be funded, and we welcome any opportunity for persons to fund these programs and support our young people as they seek to better themselves, but and also develop their country as well. Please apply. Go on to the Faculty of Medical Sciences website. You'll see undergraduate programs. You'll see postgraduate programs. Click on the link and it will take you to the particular program which you're interested in, and apply.
I'll come back and talk more about the resources available to everyone in just a moment. We'll take a break right here. When we are back, I want to hear from the real people who are in this program and why you should also be in the program as well right after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, SCOLD presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations. Lifestyle.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're in the Faculty of Medical Sciences, indeed, and we're looking at some programs available for you in the preclinical program and health science programs. And so two of their students are here with me this morning. Zinnia Robinson, who is postgraduate, but you're looking at administration.
Yes, please.
What is it about that teased you to want to be an administrator?
Well, good morning, Barbados, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
I am interested not only in leadership, but staff development. And with the program at UB, interest feels right there. I would have researched the program over about 2 years, making sure that it fit the ideal for me and what I wanted to offer Barbados. And yeah, I settled on the program. And I think that's the best decision I've made for my career thus far.
I can see to your face alone that is the best decision you've made.
Yes,
and
please.
so what does that require now of you to be able to do?
For me, it requires lots of critical thinking application. I think the program is built on critical thinking. Expanding my nursing knowledge, showing up as a leader for nurses, and champion for nurses everywhere.
Let's talk about the need, because there is a need in the Caribbean, I suppose, for administrators like yourself who are driven by the ideals that you've just espoused. How dire is the need, do you think, for the kind of training that you're now getting from the University of the West Indies in medical in administration?
So I remember earlier this year with elections, I heard our Prime Minister speaking about the shortage of over 200 nurses. And one of the areas that she would have touched on is the need for further education among our nurses and using that as a nurse retention strategy. And I said to myself, this is the role I want to play. This is how I want to give back to Barbados, who provided the basis of my education starting at Barbados Community College.
And in your study, how much of it is then looking at other cases outside of the Barbados, into the region in particular, because we're training minds to uplift the Caribbean at the same time?
So what was quite interesting actually is that we have colleagues from Belize and St. Vincent. And it gave us the opportunity to realize that our problems are not only Barbados or Barbadians, it's throughout the Caribbean and the wider world. My colleagues come with a vast of information. Every week, my eyes are open to a different issue or area in healthcare. And I just believe that we have so much more to offer.
Wow. You are a wonderful example of why it's important to be in this program, indeed, because you make it shine. I like that, Kaylin.
It's a lovely program.
Right, Kaylin,
yes.
You, however, are in the undergraduate program.
Yes,
what is it that you're doing?
I am doing a Bachelor's of Medicine, Bachelor's of Surgery.
What led you into that?
So for me personally, I was not interested in medicine at first. I did a degree in biology before, so it's more so going into the science field. But after my dad passed in 2020, I said to myself, I think medicine might be the one for me. So I've been pursuing that dream since 2020.
You're trying to find an answer to Dad's death?
Not really an answer, but to be able to help persons where I couldn't help myself.
You couldn't. And so enrollment in this program then was not difficult at all?
Well, it was not difficult at first, but I had a few issues with my transcript before, so I was kind of uncertain if I would be able to even get into medicine. I think it was just like the Friday before school started, I got my acceptance letter and I was jumping around the house for joy, because any of my friends could tell you it was really nerve-wracking seeing everyone get into medicine or get into their future, and just like, what is going on? What am I going to do? But I was really excited to be here.
We keep thinking that studying medicine is so time-consuming. You don't get time for, I see your head, you don't get time for fun, to do the other things, to go party like the other youngsters like yourself. And so talk to me about the balance you have to strike just to make sure that you're okay.
Well, for me personally, I try to basically balance my time between school and between all of my other extracurricular activities. So I currently serve as the Public Relations and Marketing Chair of the Medical Students Association. So it's basically just being able to balance everything together, because medicine, it is really time consuming, but you can still be able to do all of your extracurricular activities if you balance your time properly. So time balance is really essential.
Give to our younger audience this morning reasons why they should enter the Faculty of Medical Sciences.
So if you believe that medicine, not even just medicine, but health sciences, nutrition and dietetics, this is a dream of yours, I would urge you to apply today. We live in a country where our government is being able to supply and provide our tuition for us to do these programs, and for other persons this is not the case, because these programs can cost a lot of money, but luckily for us here in Barbados, our government is providing that for free. So I would say take the opportunity, save some money, and be able to pursue that dream of yours.
I love it. And so, Dr. Seeley, let's talk a little bit more about the additional resources that are made available to the students while on campus.
Okay, so one of the key aspects obviously are the academics. And there is the Office of Student Services on campus, which provides support as needed for students who require time management skills, study skills, any other area of counseling and support. We also have the Student Health Clinic, which also provides services free to the students. They can access any part of healthcare. Obviously, students have exams coming up. We are writing review and revision week, exams next week. And if there are any challenges, students are reminded that they should not, just because they don't want to take an examination, but if they are truly ill, that they can access the services so that they don't receive a fail, but will be given a medical for that particular, and they can actually do it at a later date. Mental health is very, very critical within the context, especially two of our postgraduate programs. Our persons are working, are still working and studying. So that work-life balance and delicate balance between their work, study, and certainly personal life is critical. So we always check in. There's also the opportunity for academic advising. Although it is academic advising, it requires advising across the board. So even if we're not able to manage a particular situation, we're able to refer them to get the appropriate support that they need to be able to continue, not only in the program, but as a whole person. Very, very, very critical. This reach goes not only for Barbados, but our students. As you heard Zinnia mention, we also have students in the region. Belize, the Ministry of Health in Belize just reached out to us, and we started a program to train 15 administrators through the Ministry of Health in Belize. And we have our colleagues in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, who we've already graduated a cohort of 6 educators and 2 administrators. And we have our working with them as well in their particular country to provide the support through their own, the college there, but also the Ministry of Health. So it is it's a balancing act, but certainly recognizing that persons are individuals first and humans first, and that human relations approach as much as possible while still balancing academics and work life.
That is so important to hear and to know, and so comforting to understand that you're not just tossed into the wild University of the West Indies and left alone, but that the members of the faculty actually care enough for you to provide resources, to make those resources available to you. And Kelly, you were saying you're a member of the Students' Council?
The Medical Students
Association. And what does that mean? What kinds of services do you offer?
So essentially, the Medical Students Association is a student-led organization under our Faculty of Medical Sciences. So we basically represent all of the medical students at Cave Hill. So we carry out different various outreach opportunities. We have health sessions, get fit sessions. So basically caring for the holistic experience of our students, from academic to extracurricular to everything essentially under the sun.
Dr. Seeley, there are people who are in one track and they figure, okay, I've done that. Perhaps now I could tackle this. Are you open to receiving people with other degrees who want to come into medical science, or is it so focused in its track?
No, I think we're very flexible. And while there may be guidelines, we work within the context of our approval boards. And once we recognize there is a validity and accredited program that you've been part of, the opportunity is there for you to be able to access the track. Obviously, you would have to work through the logistics and the recognition and the transcripts and all of that. But we are flexible. I want to say also too that the nursing program at UWI is very young still. We started in 2018, the first nursing program. So we are still working through a lot of kinks and making sure that everything is A1. And it is also key too that while we are offering the particular specialties that we offer, we are not immune to the fact that what is happening not only in Barbados but our region, our aging population, the vulnerability. You see, we have pediatrics. We're looking to look at the vulnerability of the aged, dementia, areas of concern, and the epidemiological profile of the country, not only Barbados but certainly the region, and be able to offer the programs that can treat to tackling the issues which we are confronting as countries. Very, very critical.
With all this research you've just shared with me, can me, John Q. Public, access that information if I want to do further review?
Yes, one of the key things for faculty is that we must be involved in research and that we must publish. So there's opportunity, and I think probably we don't advertise this enough. Within our area, we know this, but we are always on the cutting edge of research. Case in point, even publication, I've just contributed to a book chapter on a book called Policy and Politics in Nursing, an American text which we use as one of our texts. And I've been able to contribute a chapter on health equity in small island developing states. So the idea is that we are doing a lot of great work, but I think sometimes we know what we do, but we don't showcase enough. You know, you always say you're showing off. No, but I think we need to show off a little more what it is that we do, because as you say, John Public is not aware that we are doing a lot of groundbreaking work in research in our different areas and disciplines, and obviously on the world stage as well, contributing to the development of the country, but being up there with those who we count as the best.
Yeah,
we are up there as well.
We are there, ladies and gentlemen. You can also be there at the University of the West Indies in the Faculty of Medical Sciences. As simple as you going online and making your registration, completing your registration, and then they'll review, and they'll get back to you. And just like Kayla, you'll go, yeah, I made it indeed. Look at your screen. You'll see that's what you'll see first of all, and they'll tell you why to choose KPhil, and they'll tell you a little bit more about accreditation and all of that. You can explore then all of the different departments, and then you make up your mind as to what will be your specialty and perhaps what could be your minor. But all of that is so very important indeed. You're looking not just for the practitioner of medicine alone. They're looking for the administrator who's working behind the scenes to support the industry and to be able to point and advise where things are happening and where things are needed indeed. And so it's fascinating, and it can be equally fascinating and rewarding for you. And so, Dr. Wendy Seeley, thank you so much. This has been wonderful again.
Thank you so much for having us.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. And good to meet you, Zinnia Robinson, and best of luck in your future studies as well. And to you, Kaylin Roach, congratulations on what you've reached so far. I wish you best in everything else you're achieving.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And to all, thank you so much.
Thank you again.
You're welcome. Morning Barbados is back right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Today, I woke up and had this sudden realization that I do not give a damn about your feelings. I've realized that people who tell me, be mindful of what you say to others, are just weak-minded people who can't handle a little truth and are ever so quick to cry into a pillow when people don't disagree with them.
That's just a sample of what poetry has been able to do and deliver to Barbados over the few years they've been in existence. And boy, what a punch they've given indeed. And so now poetry is poetry. And so poetry is also poetry. And we're seeing more and more people get into spoken word because of this woman right here, co-founder of Poetry, the organization Poetry Barbados.
Yes, please.
LaShawna Griffith, good morning.
Good morning, Pearson. It's always a pleasure to be here with you.
I could not miss this opportunity not to say congratulations, first of all, on your second awards ceremony. How long has Poetry been in the organization now?
Only 2 years.
Sorry, I should have laughed. Only 2 years?
Only 2 years.
It feels as though you guys have been around so long. That speaks to the power that you've already shown that you are, and you're delivering indeed. Yeah. So let's talk about what you've seen over the journey thus far, and how proud you truly are of what you've been able to see.
Well, when we first started, and I remember I spoke to the persons I wanted to form the executive. So I remember I called Cher Antoinette, and she was like, "You're bringing me out to retirement." And I was like, "No, but I think that you have a set of skills that you can bring to the table." I spoke to the other co-founder, Akin Chandler Prescott, and I told him, "Hey, you're award-winning artist, and you would have perspectives not only as a poet, but also with your background and your master's in creative arts." And then Zoe Armstrong, she had so much experience with OTT and Honey Jams, so she brought that experience in. And then Theo Greenidge, his background from being the first ever person to headline for us, and then his background in sports and having that leadership ability. So when we formed the executive, I knew that those were the people that I wanted to help me do this. And I think that when we first started, we were nervous because we're doing a poetry show, and our first poetry show, and we're nervous as, will people come out? This is a niche in Barbados. Will people turn up? And I remember I was standing by the door like, please, somebody come. And that first show, 200 and something persons came, to the point that we had to turn back people because the space didn't have any more room. And to see the growth of the artists, so much of our artists, even Ashley, when she first came, she was so reserved. Even when she did your interview with you,
Yes.
she was so reserved. And now you see this boldness. It's really beautiful to see.
There's such development of the art form in Barbados, but that takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of coordination as well.
Yeah.
And so talk to me, how involved are you in helping these youngsters and these other people who want to just have a voice to have that voice?
The executive facility is the chief cut and bottle washer. I actually believe in all the artists, and I think one of the things that was so beautiful at the last show is that all the artists wrote a card, and they actually wrote some kind words on it.
Nice.
And it was trying so hard not to cry because you know the makeup done, but it was so beautiful to see that as well, and how receptive they were to the awards, because designing the awards and speaking to Trophy World and selecting the persons who would get the awards was a long haul, because I spoke to the griots, and then we spoke to some persons who have came to a lot of the shows, and we asked them, hey, who do you think these awardees should be? And then you have to tell them, well, keep your mouth shut, don't tell nobody. Right? And I think that process is so great. And then we had opportunities like to do training workshops, like with Vince Telemac from Canada. He did some training workshops on Zoom, and we also are looking to do more workshops as we go down the line as well. And also seeing the artist growth, right? Because like this week, the artist that won the Poetry Barbados Production Award with Black Man Chant. I mean, just saying that alone, right?
Yes.
So Orlando and Cam, they'll be going to him this week to work on their song circles and to get that out, that we can all enjoy and listen to it. And just seeing that happen and how excited he's been to actually go to the studio with Andre and to do this song is so beautiful to watch. And then Ebony's growth. Ebony's growth also.
Ebony's amazing.
She is very amazing. And when she first performed for us at the last year's show, she was so nervous. Her hands were trembling. And I was like, Ebony, when you get this thing, you're going to realize the hand don't tremble no more. And seeing her development, and also seeing Disrupt HR and Bean and Bagel give her awards as well, was so beautiful to watch her journey. And I think for me, seeing her grow from last year to this year, it's been amazing. And I can't imagine what else she's going to do.
You're going to well up with tears. I know you're going to well up with tears. Be careful of that. And so here we are now, 2 years hence.
Yeah.
Let's look at what you see for poetry and spoken word for Barbados.
I think that with what we're doing with Poetry Barbados, which falls on the backs of those who have gone before and the other organizations, I do think that what we're doing now is to show persons that poetry ain't just this boring academic thing. That, you know, poets have fun. We have a good time. You know, we laugh and we do pieces, yes, that may be serious, but it's not so mundane that you feel as though, oh my God, I am so tired of this, right? And I also think by developing and having that collective of persons, you now have an opportunity to not only see the poets, but now persons are becoming fans of the poets. So, you know, some of the persons will tell me they're in Bridgetown just doing regular shopping, and somebody say, I see you. I see you. And that piece, and you have to stop and listen, you know, because they're going to, and what I found sometimes, the more mature crowd will have notes from the last show, and they're sharing, and they say, Lashana, but I think that you should. And I'm like, wow.
The growth is amazing.
The growth is amazing.
Which leads me to ask, could you describe for me the profile generally of the people who show up for Poetry's productions?
Every time that we have a show, we see a different profile of people. It is so amazing to witness. So some of our shows, we have a mixture of young persons and more mature crowd. So like our last show, when we honored Dr. Yvonne Weeks, which was the highlight, for me. So Cher Antoinette is a great secret keeper. She told Dr. Yvonne Weeks to come to the show because she's involved with FCLE and that it would be nice for her to see the young poets. That's all she said. Yvonne came and had not a clue that we were presenting her with the award. And when her son came to me outside and he was like, what's happening? I said, I don't know, you have to ask Cher. So she was the most surprised when she received her award. And things like that really, really make me feel really happy to know that we get to honor persons while they're here and while they're alive. And that 10th award, because we were at 9 and we were like, who should be the next person? And then after some deliberation, we came up with Dr. Yvonne Weeks, and she is over the moon. She has been very excited since receiving her award, because it just shows that Barbadians see you, and especially as a female writer, it's so important to honor those females that have paved the way for us to be able to do what we do.
I am sensing right now there are people say, but I do write. I wish I had the space. I wish I know how to get in contact with this woman on TV to also showcase my talent so far. So if those watching have that passion, how can they reach out to be a part of poetry?
So to be a part of poetry, you can DM us on Instagram, which is poetry, POETREE Barbados, or you can send us an email at POETTREE Barbados at gmail.com. Outline that you'd like to be a part of the show. Send us a sample of your work, and then our executive will review, and then you become a member of our cast.
Yeah. And this is not about performing for awards. This is about having something to say and having a space in which to say it to an audience of people who want to hear it. And that's important indeed. And so I'm sure you have to take time sometimes to remind people, listen, this is not for show. You genuinely have a message to tell, then tell your message. We want to hear what's coming from deep within. And so you don't put restrictions on what to say, or do you?
Well, there are some restrictions that we place, because at the end of the day, we want to ensure that we have the best product, because we're Poetry Barbados. People from all around the world watch. So obviously no hate speech, nothing too overly political. We also don't like any use of profanity on our stage at all. So those are the major rules, right? And then you're free to, share as you wish. But those are the 3 major rules. And then in terms of deportment, we like to make sure that everyone is deported well, that they're dressed. And because if you don't take yourself seriously as an artist, how can you expect persons to come to event where there's an admission fee to see you? You have to take your art form seriously. And I tell every single member of the cast, you are artists, you behave like artists, you dress like an artist, and you turn up and you show up for yourself, because that is so important.
You are so right on that score. Look the part, indeed, and so the part will follow you. And so here it is. You have a wonderful ambassador in Akeem. Akeem goes all over the world, and Akeem's astounding people everywhere every time he opens his mouth. And that's the what comes from what you do, the practice of spoken word, the practice of having a message and being able to formulate that message in sight away. Do you do workshops and the like as well?
So yes, we did do some workshops last year with Vince Telemac when he was in Barbados, and then we also did some on Zoom because he's now in Canada.
So are you planning more?
Yes, we are. We have some very big surprises in store.
Well, don't keep the surprise to yourself. Can you tell us when the first one is coming up?
Well, we're still in planning stages for the first one. The next one, I should say, coming up. So we have a few persons that we have earmarked that we want to do these workshops with. One of the things our executive has decided is that we'll open them up to the general public as well, to allow persons to be able to experience, because when we first started, we were getting our house in order, ensuring that our artists had the opportunities to liaise with some of these international artists and get some performance workshops and so on happening. But now we're realizing that members of the public actually want to learn how to do this thing. So that is something that we're looking to do as we move towards the rest of the year.
Sometimes we start off with something we absolutely love and it's manageable, and then it gets beyond us. Have you thought of the growth plan and how to respond to all of this? Because you only 2 years and you're already so powerful.
Yeah, so we had a lot of discussions as the executive about the future plans, what it would look like, how we would reorganize and restructure. So we have had those discussions, and we are looking to do succession planning and all that good stuff. I must say that is Akeem's wheelhouse. With his master's in creative arts, he's able to look at those things and then share her background as a director in forensic science. She's able to say, hey, we got to look at these things, these processes. So that's why I'm really thankful for the team I have, that they're able to say, look, we need to look at this going down the road.
LaShawna, you've come up with a really good thing here. This is a good thing. I know this has always been a part of your passion, from writing, and you're telling the stories of people who are young entrepreneurs wanting to do more, and you provide the breath for them to soar. And now we at Mornin Barbados want to provide you with the breath to continue soaring. We're so immensely proud of you. I've seen your growth from then till now, and I could see already the future looking fantastic for you. There's spaces in the world for people like you, and you have your space as well. So occupy it, LaShawna. Occupy it. I know you will. You're bold enough to do so. And that's what you're asking people to do as well, to be bold enough to come hold their spot, say what they have to say. There's someone who wants to hear it. And so Poetry, so remind us again how to contact you.
So to contact us at Poetry Barbados, you can send us a DM on Instagram at POETREE Barbados, or you can send us an email at POETTREE@gmail.com.
Simple, Simon met the pieman. LaShawna Griffith is her name. The organization is known as Poetry Barbados. And it's an organization now just 2 years in its operations, but 2 years of 2 annual awards ceremonies, 2 years of outstanding performance as an organization, providing opportunity for spoken word artists and poets and everyone who has something to say. And so grab hold of this opportunity, because you're on a good train when you stick with LaShawna. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much, Pearson.
You're welcome. You're welcome as always. We love brilliance, and you're brilliant. LaShawna Griffith is her name. Poetry Barbados is her organization, and we give them our fullest support here at Mornin Barbados. We're back with more right after this.
Calling my therapist, cause girl, you got me losing my mind. See all this back and forth, you love me, then you hate me while you wasting my time. You hang up just to blow my line. Girl, I don't get it, but you bring out the best in everything that I do. Plus you always on my hip, you like a holster. Wouldn't trade you for the world, because the world is on my shoulder. You always keep me grounded.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories, and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 10 now to go to the hour of 7 o'clock. We're looking at 400 years from 1627 to 2027. That's a long time. And this is within the context of the transatlantic slave trade and the atrocities surrounding that. And so as we get ready to launch the season of Emancipation, we think this is a very important, timely subject to discuss. And joining us this morning is the Reverend Buddy Laria, who is with the Vastate Advocacy Group. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you, person. Nice to see you.
As well here. Tell me a little, your Vastate Advocacy Group, what's that about?
Yes, Vastate Advocacy Group was formed around the 12th of October 2024. And the idea, a few women came together, yes, to look at the struggles of women, the campaigning for social justice and equal rights. And they reached out to me, and I said, okay, that group could be part of the work that is going on, not just about women, but justice for we as people of African descent, because of the changes that is taking place. And that's how the group was formed.
Okay, and so here we are on the cusp of Barbados' launch of the season of Emancipation, which is tomorrow.
That's right.
And we're looking, there's a documentary that you want to tell us about. This documentary chronicles what over those 400 years?
Over those 400 years, one of the first things that people need to understand the importance of when Barbados was colonized in 1627. And just a few years later, Barbados had a battle with England, right? And that is when Cromwell executed King Charles I. And as a result of that, the people in Barbados, who was, you know,
Little England,
they did not agree. So Cromwell sent a force down here to put down, let's say, the rebels. And as a result of that, something happened. And in Oistins, at the Mermaid Tavern, and CB has documented this called a piece of our past, which highlights the Charter of Barbados. That was signed in 1652. Just a short war it was, but very important. It influenced the whole colonial world. Yes? Now that happened, but just soon after that happened, Barbados, under the same colonial, passed a law called the 1661 Slave Code Act. And that act said that black people were not human beings, that we were chattel. So every Barbadian family lived in chattel houses. You get what? That's where it came from.
Chattel houses for chattel.
Chattel houses for chattel. And as a result of that, what we are now seeing materializing, the violence, I mean, I can't imagine what the families are going through. Every week we are having 2 or 3 murders person. And that is as a result of what we went through for these past 400 years. Well, 399 years, because next year, the 17th of February, commemorates, and I want to say not celebrate, we commemorating that experience of 400 years. So on Wednesday, what I will be doing and what that state would be doing is launching a 4-part documentary series. What put the 400 years into context. Each Wednesday at 6:30 at the Daphne Hackett Theatre, we will be showing one documentary and having a discussion, not a lecture, a discussion, and we're asking all Barbadians, if you want to know what is happening now and what is going to happen, come to these discussions.
Simply because of the code. And so here it is for 4 Wednesdays, starting this Wednesday, 6:30 at the Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre in Queen's Park. We sit in the theatre, we watch, and then we engage in the discussion. So if you have questions, and my mathematical mind tells me if it's 400 years, it's 100 years per documentary showing. But that's not fair.
I didn't think about that.
Not necessarily so. The point is you're chronicling the times, and each of them no doubt approaches and attends to a particular subject matter. So that at the end of it, we completed the 400-year journey. And so it's not just for historians alone. It is for people to know more about themselves. And that's what you're saying.
Exactly. And the person you just interviewed, the poet, could you imagine what happened? And I'll summarize this. In 2001, we had in Durban the World Conference, the first World Conference for the 21st century. We had a Barbados, the Commission for Pan-African Affairs, was champion, went to that conference. Now, fast forward to what happened on the 25th of March. World Conference on the question of enslaved people. And Esther Phillips, a poet, was asked to open that conference with 2 pieces. I was hoping that she would have be with us on Wednesday, but I got information that she can't make it. But, you know, it puts into context what you have just interviewed that person with. Barbadians need to understand that God put us through an assignment for 400 years. It's not coincident that Barbados was a total slave society and all that went with that. And that America, they came to Barbados, George Washington, 1751, came to Barbados. He got hold of the Barbados Charter. He got hold of the 1661 slave code. He took them back to America. And when he became president, both of them were put into the...
The charter became their constitution.
Constitution.
The code became a practice in the South in particular. And so here we are, we're looking back at all of this through the documentary. It's shown every Wednesday, starting this Wednesday, folks. The season of Emancipation is launched tomorrow. And then the following day, Wednesday, we're in the Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre for 6:30. Get there early, hold your spot, but come prepared with questions. Come prepared with wanting to broaden your understanding of just what happened over the last 400 years and what it means to us today, and give reason as to why we behave the way we do today, because we're operating, as Dr. Reverend Badalari says, under a code. And how can we break that code? How can we get beyond that code? How can we still make a significant change in the lives, the lived lives of our people here and people abroad as well? So the documentary is 4 Wednesdays, starting this Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. in the Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre with questions by you. And so that's what it's all about.
That's what it's
educating self so that self is now empowered to make a difference and to do things differently.
And could you imagine if let's say parents came there, they get the information, then they can engage with their children about what the journey was all about, and vice versa. If young people come, they could engage with their parents and peers of what the journey over the last 400 years was really about.
How to look at our picture and read that picture correctly. Because oftentimes other people implant their own messages and we want to be able to get the right message. So this is part of that journey of remapping the mind, getting it right. And so we're going to the Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre Wednesday, folks, 6:30. It's the screening of a documentary that chronicles 400 years from 1627 to now, and that's what we're looking at over that span of period. And so that's what we're coming to the Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre for.
That's right.
I know that you have a number of publications that you've shared with us over the time, but we're out of time. And we want to encourage people to read more about this from the publications that you've done so far, and then come prepared to ask questions. Look at the documentary, see for yourself, ask the questions, and get the public engagement from all of this as well, because one can learn from the other, and that's what it's all about. Reverend Badalari, thank you so much. You're welcome. And I wish that the theatre is filled to overflowing with people starting this Wednesday.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Do I.
You're very welcome. Morning Barbados is right back, right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end. And what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's look at the news now. CCTV cameras and other security measures are being implemented at the London-born towers in the city after gunmen robbed a resident on Saturday night and left others traumatized by the crime. Spearheading the drive for the additional security is Member of Parliament for the City of Bridgetown and the Minister of Legal Affairs and Criminal Justice, Michael Lashley. Anesta Henry has that story.
The promise of heightened security at London-born towers comes after Minister Lashley speaks with residents and hears their concerns. He intends to take immediate action with CCTV cameras expected to be installed this week, and that's not all.
I will have to meet with the Minister of Housing and Lands and National Housing officials to see how we can have a physical presence over here in terms of security, and indeed also to get also the police service involved in terms of patrolling and monitoring these areas too.
This hole in the wall at the property is testament to the firepower used during the robbery. The victim, who spoke to CBC off camera, says he was chased up the stairs and robbed by 3 masked men. He's grateful to be alive today. The resident says it was about 11:15 p.m. when he was about to climb the stairs to his apartment to deliver a meal he had just bought for his family when the nightmare began.
Well, coming upstairs, I was just walking, coming up. Then I feel his presence behind me. When I really see 3 masked men, and he aimed the gun at me. So I started to run upstairs. Then when I get to the next floor, they shot at me. That was the first shot. And when I get up by what part I live, that when I go, that shot hit the wall. But while running to dodge the bullet, I fall down and I fell out, grab my chain and tell me pass these chains.
The incident has left him and his neighbors outraged and calling for increased security.
When I come downstairs, down there you don't really see around the corner. So sometimes you see people down there, even know. You be down there sitting down, you don't really know what's going on. So you just go up on your guard.
Another resident laments that her son could have been the one robbed.
If he'd have coming down or think or coming up, he would have had the bullet. And I'm very scared. We need security boat here. We don't have no proper security.
Yet another resident says she is often surprised at the number of suspicious-looking characters lurking on the premises.
Many times we come down the stairs and we meet all kinds of people under the stairs. Sometimes in the wee hours of the morning, people coming up the stairs that don't even live here. And they ain't like they're coming to someone. They're coming and they're looking around like they're looking to see who door they could pull. This is very, very frightening. I don't want the comfort that I felt, that no longer lives here.
She believes the 24-hour surveillance and the cameras would provide greater security. This incident comes less than 24 hours after Minister Lashley indicated that police will be adopting enhanced measures to tackle crime. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
Well, the minister also indicated that the Barbados Police Service is preparing to roll out a coordinated response aimed at reducing criminal activity. He made that comment while officially opening the police community outpost at Haynesville. Akin Plinkett tells us more.
Residents in Haynesville, St. James, now have access to a newly renovated police community outpost, which will serve as a resource center and for continued police presence aimed at improving safety. Attending this reopening ceremony are Minister of Legal Affairs and Criminal Justice, Michael Lashley, Member of Parliament for St. James South, Sandra Husbands, and Commissioner of Police, Richard Boyce. In his keynote address, Minister Lashley reveals that the Barbados Police Service is preparing to roll out a coordinated response to reduce criminal activity across the island. He notes that public anxiety has increased in recent days, pointing to a recent murder during the Oystins Fish Festival climax just days ago.
Obviously, we will have to strengthen enforcement and prevention with immediate sustained action. I believe that there will be some attention paid to the hot spots. and persons of interest who believe that they can hold a country to ransom by antisocial behavior and indeed illegal activities.
Minister Lashley adds that the time has come for police to use smart technology to monitor illicit activity across the island.
Smarter use of technology will indeed result in strengthening surveillance. It will also increase visibility and increase monitoring of communities in Barbados where people feel threatened and where people feel unsafe.
He also says that another measure being considered is the monitoring of persons on bail as well as offenders. The minister believes the implementation of these measures will help to lower the crime rate. Akeem Klinkett, CBC News.
Deputy Prime Minister Cynthia Bradshaw says government is fully aware of the need to upgrade and modernize security operations on island. She was speaking at the People's Cathedral during a ceremony marking 50 years of service by the National Security Division. Bradshaw notes that there is a growing recognition that the role of the security guard must evolve to meet modern challenges. She adds that in response, deliberate and strategic efforts are already underway to modernize security systems and operations across the island.
I am pleased to note that deliberate and strategic efforts are underway to modernize operations, and long-standing manual systems are being transformed through the purposeful integration of technology, improving efficiency, increasing transparency, and strengthening accountability. At the same time, the legislative framework is under active review to ensure it remains relevant, responsive, and fit for purpose.
The Deputy Prime Minister also points out that there will be a strong emphasis on automation and digitization as part of efforts to upgrade security operations on island. She adds that these efforts form part of government's broader commitment to modernizing public service delivery and improving efficiency across the sector.
The administration is placing strong emphasis on automation and digitization. In the near future, processes such as license applications, annual registrations, and secure online system payments will be facilitated electronically. These reforms will not only enhance efficiency, but it will also reflect this government's broader commitment to modernizing public service delivery and improving accessibility for citizens and our stakeholders alike.
Let's look at sports now. With a superb knock of 153, Kevin Wickham rescued the Barbados Pride from an early slump on yesterday's opening day of their West Indies Championship match against Jamaica. Playing at Chedwin Park, the Pride lost skipper Craig Brathwaite without a single run on the board and then found themselves in a bit of trouble on 23 for 3. But Wickham's knock, that included 6 fours and 12 sixes, along with the support of Kyle Mears on 64 and 40 from Shamar Springer, pushed the Pride to 348 as they gained full batting points. Look at the highlights.
It's gone! Oh, impressive to mention this man, Marquino Minley. And aerial was through that gully region.
Kyle Mears and Kevin Wickham.
Oh, beautiful shot, a shot of authority. This has been a wonderful partnership, and that's a wonderful century as well from Kyle Rico Mears, a well-constructed innings from the left-hander.
The Jamaica Scorpions started their reply, and at the close of play, there were 17 without loss. They're still trailing by 331 runs. Play resumes at 11 o'clock Barbados time today. That's a look at news and sports. More at 12 noon right here on TV8. Morning Barbados is right back right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about solar ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One. Your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The Barbados Association of Professional Social Workers will be conducting a special grief camp comprising of 4 Saturdays starting April 25th to Sir with Love from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for children ages 7 to 16. This camp is to help their little hearts heal from sudden, untimely death of their daddies, including gun violence, health, COVID-19, or accidents. Led by certified trauma and social work and ACEs social workers who will serve as camp counselors and facilitators. If you know of a family where a child or siblings need to, share their stories, express feelings, receive support, share the following information: 240-8572, call or WhatsApp. Registration closes on the 15th April.
So registration closes very soon today. Don't laugh at me, Sharon. Today's the 13th. Registration closes in 2 days. To Serve with Love. And I know when you heard me say it at the beginning of the show, you kept thinking of Lulu, that big song, Those Cool Girl Days, right? Well, this is something totally different, put on by the Barbados Association of Professional Social Workers in association with the National Peace Program. And so joining me this morning is Sharon Rose Gittins, who we know is one of Barbados' well-known social workers.
Thank you, Person. Thank you, viewers.
You like that designation,
yeah, because persons keep saying, you're always on TV. Thank you for watching.
Yes, indeed. I join you with that. Yeah. And the president of the Barbados Association of Professional Social Workers is Anita Welch-Gittins. Anita, good morning. Good to see you again.
Good morning. Good to see you again. Glad to be here.
Good to have you indeed. To Serve with Love. What is this about?
To Serve with Love is specific grief camp for children. As we've recognized here in Barbados, there have been a number of sudden deaths, and not just sudden deaths as it relates to homicides. I want us to recognize that we've had daddies who've died in motor vehicle accidents, health-related illnesses, and it goes on and on. So we, within the association, came up with and designed To Serve with Love Grief Camp to run for 4 Saturdays. It's really about the grief expression for the child, because they grieve differently than adults, and it's also to give a new and refreshing and safe space to work with other children. And it's not just work. I shouldn't say work, because you're not coming to work. You're really coming to create that legacy item on behalf of Daddy who's passed. So they'll share their stories, express their feelings, and receive support.
You said for children, but it's not every single child of every age. You're targeting a particular cohort.
Yes. So we have between 7 to 16 divided up into 3 groups. So you have the 7 to 9, 10 to 12, and then 13 to 16, which will be ably led by our social workers who have been trained in trauma and as well as acute childhood experiences. So it is a mixed group, but at the same time a group that understands grief, understands that grief is different from trauma. Definitely in terms of the child who, I want to say, sometimes gets overlooked in their own pain, in their own mourning. Here it is that we want you to come together, not be misunderstood at school when you're acting out. You know, it's really trying to cope with the loss.
And we oftentimes tend to think, oh, they will grow out of it, while the adult will live with it forevermore. And we get that so wrong. So wrong, because they go through the same grief cycle as the adult does.
Yeah, and then the grief cycle, as Anita will share, and I'm sure she will expand on that, what really is that grief cycle for the child as it differs from the adult.
Let's talk about that then, Anita. What is the grief cycle like for the child?
So we understand that children will grieve differently from adults. So they go through anger, which is the same as adults, but then they will go through like the different way they eat. Their behavior might change. You know, they'll have difficult sleep patterns. They might even start wetting the bed, which they wouldn't have done before. The schoolwork will suffer. And sometimes the parents, the extended family would think that, oh, they're just behaving badly, or come on, you'll grow out of it. But basically, they are suffering inside. And the parents and grandparents, the extended family, they need to understand that they are grieving as well. So they're suffering a loss, and this is how they're acting out that loss. So it's something that we have to take note of and recognize as well.
And the acting out can look different depending on the age as well.
That's right.
I had a moment of grief in my teens, my early teens. I didn't eat. So I know what you're talking about. And it's that feeling of separation that leaves you
loneliness.
lost, feeling a sense of loss.
Loneliness, right.
And loneliness and being then misunderstood too, which compounds the problem here.
Correct.
And so we ask the question oftentimes, why are they behaving this way?
That's right.
And perhaps it is the grief and the sense of loss that they're showing up.
Correct. And then add to that the parent or the adult trying to cope
themselves
as well with the grief. So sometimes we do the comfort foods, and we, on the other hand,
and
just
create another problem.
create another problem. But then it's like, how do you speak and what do you say? So to serve with love, we're bringing other children who have gotten the opportunity now to share with others, to have activity, because we want to be creating some legacy items on behalf of Daddy. So whether it's a song, whether it's a poem, whether it's a painting, whether it's at the end of the day where you are able to say, well, I'm doing this for Daddy. I'm doing it in remembrance of. And also, too, we are going to have a service, a memorial service on behalf of those dads. We've started the registration. So, yes, there are 2 days, 2 days left, but we've started. And so far, it's amazing. We have parents who have registered, and the loss has taken place since 2021. So there's even COVID, so yes, it's our first.
Yes.
And I think we definitely anticipate that it will be a healing process, and persons who understand grief has very many positive messages in it.
Oftentimes we think, let's give them something to distract them. Maybe they won't think about it. Maybe it never crosses their mind ever again because they're so focused on something else. But you can't direct your grief in that kind of way. And so this experience we're having with To Serve With Love, in the different cohorts that you've got them divided into, I'm hoping that children are not left with this idea that you're distracting them at all.
Definitely not.
Because we want to listen, we want to hear their stories, and nothing they say is wrong. This is your free space, this is your open space. And as an adult, we understand that, we'll go and we'll cry in a room, or, we'll get angry and so on. But we have to understand that children are humans as well, and they have to express their emotions. So we're giving them that space where they could express their emotions, where they can talk, they can cry, they can laugh, they can jump. But this is you. We don't want you to feel that you have to do it our way. No, you're individual, and everyone experiences grief in a different way. Each child, just as each adult, but each child will experience it in a different way. So where one child might stop eating, another child might overeat. Where one child might just keep very, very quiet, another child might stick onto you and, have anxiety issues and separation issues. So each child will be individual, and we're giving them that space that they could be individual with their peers.
The registration is required. In the registration, is it required that the parent shows up as well? Or
in terms of registering, and we are having a parent session, because that parent who registered the child is also coping with that child and navigating that child through the grief. So yes, we will have those sessions, circle sessions actually, with the parent. Once they're willing to, and they're ready to be part of it. It's open to them to share. As Anita spoke, then I'm mindful of the fact as well that at the camp it is just recognizing the sir. It's not S-I-R, Mr. Pearson.
Yes, ma'am. S-E-R.
Right.
Yes.
So the S is where they share their story. E in terms of expressions of their feelings, and R is receiving that support and knowing that the support is coming from social workers who are ably trained and assisted, and also those who hold masters in counseling psychology. So we have a pretty strong team to give that support.
And to know that the parents will have theirs apart from, because sometimes, especially boys in their teens and as they head into 17 too, I don't want mommy or to be around. I want to be able to say to a stranger, to someone who I don't quite know how I feel, and not be judged for my expression. And it's to know that, but at the end of it all, you bring them back together to say, mommy, or would you out the boy?
No, we're not outing the boy, but the age group person. Do not tell our viewers 17 Our age
16.
group goes until 16.
Okay.
But then that's our
You got
plan
the
B.
idea.
That's
You got the idea. To the top end of it there, the top end of the ages. And so, folks, you need to call and register. You have 3 more days. And it happens 25th of April.
Yes.
Then you follow up.
The 2nd, the 9th, and the 16th.
Right.
But we want to also say thank you to a few of our sponsors, if that's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's one other thing. It is going to be a safe space,
right,
where the children will be able to trust us.
Yes.
So that's very important to know that they can trust us and they feel comfortable when they're sharing their stories, expressing their feelings. So that is another thing we need to
I'm glad
look
you've
at.
said that. I needed that to be heard.
Yes.
Safe.
Safe
So children who are
space.
coming, it's safe.
Yes.
You can say how you feel,
That's right.
and no one will judge you. No one will say to you, you're right or you're wrong.
That's right.
It's your feeling that you want to share. And feel free to share how you feel, because we're trying to help, and that's important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So some of the persons we definitely want to say thank you to. One, those parents who have already registered, those who are going to register, the social work team in terms of the committee, and also the support of the group of social workers, and as relates to the team of executive who've been working and planning and staying up late and making
Yes.
sure that we do the right thing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We also have a few more.
About the journalists who, when they share their stories about the children, they share positive things. Because if the children read the newspaper or hears somebody else at school and hears negative, that's really going to hurt them.
That's right.
And the viewers, so if you know someone that, you know, child is suffering grief, a loss of a parent, a daddy, just register.
Let's
Talk
register.
to them and let them register. And Parados.
And Parados, of
And
course.
Parados.
With the National
And
Peace
of
Program.
Yes,
And
yes,
of course,
yes. We definitely
last but
hands
not
down.
least,
It's
the
all
National
about
Peace-
peace. Yep,
yes,
National Peace Program. Definitely.
I didn't
National
forget.
Peace-
Don't worry.
I know.
You know I wouldn't forget.
I know.
And of course, the Barbados Association of Professional Social Workers.
And these sessions will go from 10 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon, just 4 hours of you to have a very impactful experience indeed. And so for the next 4 Saturdays, we want you from the April the 25th, ending on the 16th of May, you can be a part of this, but you need to register right now. Call or WhatsApp 240-8572. 240-8572. You can do so. There's space for you. There's always going to be space for you because we're all grieving at some level of grief. And so this camp is to help those little hearts heal from the sudden and timely death of their daddy. And so we know what it feels to have the absence in the household. The child understands that as well. And so the child needs help in navigating how they feel and how they respond in situations like these. Sharon Rose Giddens, as always.
As always, it's been a beautiful experience here
Same.
with you.
Same.
I've left.
I know it's surprising.
Yes.
Indeed. And Nietzsche Welch Giddens as well. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for
You're
having
very
us.
welcome. We want to follow up on all of this, all right?
Yes.
As always.
As always.
As always.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you as well.
Peace for everybody.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Peace be unto you. We'll be right back with more right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The Barbados-Cuba relief effort continues, folks, and we've been telling you about this because it's important that you remember that Cuba is in dire need of support as a consequence of the embargo placed upon the island by the United States of America. And so there is great need across that island in the Caribbean. They are our brothers and sisters. We've benefited from that relationship over time. And so it's our responsibility now as people of the Caribbean to give back to the people of Cuba. And so joining us as we talk even more about what this initiative means for all of us and how we can be a part is Sir Ank Clark, who is a Pan-Africanist, human rights activist, and a priestess. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Welcome. Let's talk a little bit about you, how you feel, what you know about the situation in Cuba.
How I feel. I should say disheartened, aggrieved, and a sense of desperation. Why desperation? Because our people are suffering. And no matter what we do, no matter how we try to rise above, there always seems to be that element that keeps pushing us down. In terms of what I know, as with everybody else, Cuba has been under what I call siege in terms of embargoes and blockades for over 60 plus years, and it's only getting worse. Just when you think that the people have a chance to breathe, we see that that is not the case. We know that there is very much a need for basic relief items. We have children suffering. We here in Barbados talk about children going to sleep hungry. But even in case of our children here going to sleep hungry, there is that outreach where somebody can say, okay, hold on to this, hold on to that. You can turn to somebody. That's not the case in Cuba. There is nothing to hold on to. And so you have children suffering, you have women dying giving birth, you have persons in hospital who are dying because obviously they can't perform the surgeries that are needed. The general populace is literally in a state of survival, you know. So we are trying to alleviate some of these things through the initiative and the relief drive that we're doing.
There's some who are thinking to themselves, you know, oh, girl, you've just painted a big able picture that I can't my little self help with. But we all can, in our individual ways, make a difference. And so what is it that you think we can, each of us, do, starting today, to begin to turn it around in whatever ways we can?
Well, as you said, in whatever little way you can. People tend to think if you're giving a donation, you have to be given thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars. No, not everybody is working. Not everybody has a disposable income. But whatever little bit you can give in terms of monetary donations or items in kind goes a long way. You know, little bits add up. And this is what we're looking for. This is not a one-time drive. This is an ongoing process. Until the people of Cuba can get back on their feet to stand on their own, we are going to be here to help them through that process. So we have several different entities you can turn to in terms of your donations, whether they're baby items, in terms of Pampers, wipes, formulas, medicinals, OTCs like paracetamol, cough syrups, gauze and that kind of thing, food items, you know, dried food items, obviously. So these are some of the things that we are looking at. We're looking at alternatives for electricity, because even though they would have had, as you know, Russia taking in crude, it still takes time for that crude to be processed before it can be distributed for them to use in whatever medium or generators or whatever the case may be. So we are looking at donations of that sort, but right now we're focusing on financial donation, because even when we collect these items, we still need to find a way to get them there, which is most crucial. So whether it is we have to charter a cargo, whether we have to get it to one island to be taken to Cuba, this is what we're looking at. For right now, financial donation is most important.
When we open our eyes every day, we look around and we think, I hope I can see something possible. But when the night sets in and the darkness envelops us, that's when despair tends to live and to rise. And so we don't want folks in Cuba to suddenly feel as though the world has forgotten them when they've given so much to the world through their medical team, we know of for sure, and other pharmaceuticals which they've developed, and the places they've been to further enhance. And Cuba in itself is quite a city. Havana is quite a city, and so we can't let our sisters and brothers die. There, but for the grace of God go I. And so if you can pull from within and donate monetarily, that's what you're asking for the moment. I know there's an in-kind donation set up as well at the Israel Level Foundation, which we asked people last Saturday to be able to help with, and at the UE bookshop. But you're right now looking for cash donation.
Yes.
So how can we help? Donating where? To what bank?
This is at Barbados Public Workers Credit Union. The account number is 163478, and you can take your donations there. I believe you can also do the online donations as well. Failing that, you can reach out to any member of any of the organizations. This is in collaboration with the Barbados Cuba Friendship Association, the Venezuela Friendship Solidarity Movement, my movement, which is 6th Region Movement, Hibiscus, Sports and Culture. You have Caribbean Movement for Peace and Integration. You've got PACO and several other organizations. So if you know anybody from any of these organizations, you can ask questions of any of us. Then we will guide you accordingly.
As we were talking, folks, look at your screen. Look at your screen. You'll see the account information right there. It's the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union. Any branch you can go to, and you make your cash donation to that account number 163478. I'm just going to stick in my head. 163478, because the need is great. The need is beyond imagination. None of us, and we've all been through some form of devastation, so we understand at times when the water is not flowing through the tap, how that feels. We know when the electricity is cut and we can't see a thing, we can't do a thing, we know how that feels. Imagine without electricity and you are expected to conduct surgeries. People have medical needs and you cannot even do that. Because I know a part of the planning is photovoltaic systems. That can at least help get power up. Something using natural resources given to us by God to be able to still get your feet on the ground. And we know the resilience of the Cubans as well, because they know how to, in spite of it all, rise up every day and face the world and take on the challenge. And so we don't want to look at them as needy in that sense, or people who are so bad off, but we look at them as people who are proud just like us, who need to have their dignity restored because of somebody that's trying to rob them of their dignity. And so we can help them by doing so, by giving in kind those dried items, dried foods and canned items and all of those other dignity products that we know, women in particular, and children, they are desperately in need. Not that men don't have the same kinds of need, but we definitely need to be able to respond to that need in Cuba as well. But cash goes a long way. In terms of being able to go in to understand the lay of the land, to put it just broadly like that, I know there's a delegation heading down. Can you tell us more?
Yes, there is a 10-member delegation from Barbados, comprised of some of these organizations that will be heading to Cuba. We'll be there from the 25th of April until the 9th of May. And the rationale behind this, we've been invited by ECAP, and the itinerary that we will be doing is extensive. So we're not just taking some of these items physically. We will be there going into the communities, seeing what the needs are firsthand, interacting with the locals and getting a feel for what they're going through, what they really need, so that we can cater better to that. We're going to be participating in the May Day Brigade, several solidarity conferences, which will be looking at how can we get Cuba back on its feet? How can we come together as a region, as a people, to ensure that the things that need to be done are done, not just for Cuba, because at the end of the day, I keep telling people we are one house with different compartments. The only thing that divides us, look at the ocean as doors to different rooms, but one family Cuba today, we don't know who's tomorrow. We could be tomorrow.
Yes.
And regardless of whatever happens, one thing is consistent, and that is the fact that Cuba will still rise to our aid. Doesn't matter what it is or what they're going through. Yes? And in this regard, this is what we're looking to do in our time during Cuba. We're also going to be doing volunteer work to assist with whatever is needed. Yes? So it's going to be comprehensive. It's not going to be a time where we go and sit on the beach and have a picnic. And no, we're going to be working from the get-go until we leave. So we're planning to work in collaboration with Minister for Pan-African Affairs and Heritage, Mr. Trevor Prescott, along with Ambassador for CARICOM, Mr. David Commijon, in setting the stage for getting these things done. On the 24th of April, next Saturday, there is going to be a Cuba-Palestinian film movie night held at the Embassy of Cuba. The public is invited, and you can also give your donations there, whether cash or in kind. And on the 25th, obviously, that is when we leave. There are going to be other initiatives taking place, which will be, you know, brought to the light as we go ahead. Because on the 14th of April,
that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. There's also activities going on. The 25th, sorry, is the film night at the embassy. The 24th is the Barbados Solidarity Movement, Day of Solidarity with Cuba. And I also must say that the Barbados Venezuelan Friends Solidarity Movement Committee is also on board with this because, as you know, they're also going through their own crises.
Exactly.
And they're very close to Cuba, so we can't have one without the other.
I want to look at the rebuilding of the soul, because I don't want people to move too far away from their spirituality and then what you believe.
Yes.
So is there an effort, or do you know of any efforts there on the land where you, in your despair, you know to whom to turn in terms of your spiritual needs?
Well, there are several churches and spiritual organizations, traditional organizations as well, to whom people can go to in order to seek guidance, in order to have some kind of solace. We're also doing the same thing here.
Right.
So, you know.
And I'm asking that because churches tend to sometimes think they're so immune from all of this. No, churches, you are a collection of people, you can give.
Yes.
So I want you to organize within your congregations today how together we can give to. And so that's why we're appealing also to churches, also to business houses, to everyone, everywhere. This is now a community effort, a countrywide effort indeed. And so your support of these initiatives is so welcomed. And so you can either give in cash at the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union, 163478.
Yes.
So you got it. Indeed. Or you can move to any of the collection points and make your in-kind donation as well. Everything is welcomed. But in making your in-kind donation, remember these are things that are restoring dignity to people, so make sure they're not expired items or disheveled items. They're not. Give as you would want given to yourself. And just think of others in that way, and then you're just following the second commandment. And so we encourage you to really be able to do so in a very meaningful way, because Cuba needs us. It's a relief effort indeed. And so, Prophetess, I really want to thank you. Priestess, Pan-Africanist Human Rights, got that right. Clark, I'm getting it there, I'm getting it. Thank you so much for joining us. I can only pray that God blesses you guys, all of you who are heading down and continuing this initiative, and that the real impact brings relief to many people and it restores their faith. It restores their faith.
And thank you so much, Midasi. Let's
You're
hope
very
that
welcome.
is done.
You're welcome. Morning Barbados comes right back right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shore.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Un aplauso para mami y papi, porque en verdad rompieron.
I was asking one question of them. Was this shot in Barbados? I heard one answer. Yes, it was indeed. You just saw the DNA Netball Club. They are in from Birmingham or Manchester. Manchester, the United Kingdom. They came here to Barbados. But before we get into this story, I have good news for you, Barbados. Last night, Barbados defeated Grenada. I mean, I love Grenada, but the Barbados under-16 netball team defeated the Grenada netball team 20-12. Not a bad scoreline, not a bad difference. Yeah, we're getting hands up here, indeed. And this all happened as part of the 22nd Jean Pierre netball tournament that's ongoing in Trinidad and Tobago. So well done, Team Barbados. Keep your winning ways going. We can't wait to celebrate you on your return as well, as we did for our other athletes who've returned from Carifta last weekend. We had a big motorcade in Barbados, big noise, big celebration because we were successful. And so we want to do the very same for our netballers on their return as well. But with me, next to me, is Michelle Jukes. She is the technical director of the DNA Netball Club of Manchester. And next to her is Tay Narnor. What a name, Tay Narnor, who's the head coach. And across from me is their captain in Hannah Holland. All of you, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Welcome home.
Welcome home, thank you.
It must feel so special to you, doesn't it?
I love it, yeah.
And you brought the DNA Netball Club. Tell me a little bit about the DNA Club.
Well, DNA Club was created by some dads, which Tay is actually one of the creators of the DNA Netball Club, which means Dad's Netball Academy.
Ah, really?
Get all the dads in.
That's it. Dads are in. It. And one of the things you live by is that netball is for all.
Yeah. It is, definitely. We don't want to exclude anybody. You can have elite and you can have participation. It works. You just got to make it work. You know, and that's what we try and do. And we believe it's for everyone. We never turn anybody down. We never turn anybody away. Yeah. And it's mind
over matter.
Yeah. And
mind over matter.
And fitness. Mind, wellness.
Yeah.
You need a break.
You do need a break.
From everything.
I mean, you know,
that's what it's about.
It's interesting because the perception oftentimes on this island is that netball is for the girls.
No.
I'm just telling you what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. But here it is.
So it used to be just a girls' sport because obviously the guys have the football, the cricket, rugby, whatever. So it started off that way. But as we've progressed and evolved, we've brought in the men, and now we have mixed netball.
Really?
We have men's netball. Yeah, so
look out for the mixed netball. It's
All
really
right.
good.
All right. I understand, as a matter of fact, that you've played some games on Barbados, and sad to report, you won them all.
Oh, yeah.
Not what I said, sad to report. But nonetheless, that's because you love the game, you love the spirit of the game. And because netball is for all, you're saying that in this mantra that you live by, it's for every age, every stage, every ability.
Yes.
You're not distinguishing one from the other. You're not discriminating against anyone.
No, we've got a place
it's just
for
a
everyone.
sport.
Yeah.
We have a place for everyone. So we have a place if you want to be elite and competitive. We have a place for you if you just want to participate, be social. If it's all about your health, we have a space for everyone.
Yeah. And so keeping moving is important. And so in keeping moving is not just scoring the goal, it's just the fact that you've done movement today. And you'll see over time that movement involves, and it moves to a point where you're so agile you can't believe yourself. You really can't believe yourself. Hannah, it's your first visit to Barbados, however. Welcome to Barbados. Curious, your first thoughts?
I think it's an amazing island. Like,
you're not just saying that because you're here, right?
No, I've said to Michelle the whole time I've been here, like, the vibe, everyone's so friendly and welcoming. Like, I'm so amazed by, you'll just walk down the street and people have conversations with you. They're so curious about where you're from, what you're doing here, how you're enjoying it. And we've just loved it. Like, even at the matches, like, all the girls have come. They've been so friendly, so welcoming. We had like a performance at the start of our match against Stilettos, which was amazing. And we got to do some dancing. And then like everyone just gets ahead in the game, so competitive. And then after it's like, let's all celebrate together and like applaud each other for how well we've done.
And that's sportsmanship.
Yeah.
That's sportsmanship, which is part of what you teach as well in the DNA Club, right?
Yes.
Good sportsmanship. That even if I win, I shake your hand, I'm still your friend. That was just a moment in time, but maybe next time it's your turn to win. And so that is what the discipline of netball also affords, right, Daddy?
It is. It really is. That's what it's for.
That's what it's about. And so
Life
while you're
skills.
here, you met some other netballers. What do you think of the skill of our netballers who you played with?
They're good. They can jump here. Like, they've got great leaps, especially the defenders. We've had to like kind of like adapt our play a little bit to play like in and out of pockets around players, because we know if we send the over balls, like long balls, that they're just going to be taken by the defense.
That's
You can
right.
leap.
Yeah. That was one of my first pep talks to the team. Nothing in the air. Anything in the air belongs to Barbados. So we have to stay flat and fast. And that's, I mean, the teams that we've played have been really good in that elevation and reading this. As a coach, I see so much great talent in Barbados. So now it just needs to be harnessed and let it grow, because they've got some really good talent here.
How did this trip come about, by the way?
How did it come about me? I come and I do netball here whenever I land with different clubs, especially with the police boys and girls. And it was like, when I started, I've only just started with DNA. It was like about July. In the summer, I went to do some. But Tay says to me, Michelle, just come and do a couple of sessions before us. And I says, oh, okay. And then now I've ended up being here full time. But so in doing that and doing netball here, I just said to Tay, should we go to Barbados and play netball? He went, yeah, let's do it. So it was just good, and I felt like it would be nice to bring that experience over here, not just for the DNA girls, but for the Barbadian girls, so that they can get that different competition. Because I feel like the more you play, the different styles you play, the better you get. So it's just nice for Barbados. I know Barbados is very aerial, but it's nice for them to like also get that different style of game where it's on the floor and fast and speedy.
So we learned from you. Have you learned from us, Hannah?
Definitely.
You think you got that height that they can do this now?
Definitely. I think like the communication with the defenders here is really key, and your shooters are very good.
They're on point.
Yeah, so we know that we can't let the shooters get it, because they're going to sink the goal.
Is there a plan, Tay, for more of these kinds of exchanges between ourselves?
Oh yes, definitely. We would like it to be both ways. So we like to see Barbados coming to the UK, and then we can accommodate them as well. But we will be definitely coming back more with more of the teams. So expect And I was like, DNA is going to be here a lot.
You've enjoyed yourself too much.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, by the way? I'm just curious there.
Oh, we've been everywhere. We've been on the cruises and everything. Yeah, so went on the catamarans, which is great for the girls, going, snorkeling and seeing the turtles and everything. When we went on the island tour, that was an experience. At least you get to see a lot of things around that you don't normally get to see because you're just usually stuck in a hotel. You don't know where to go and all this. But because Michelle knows a lot of people,
she knows everybody.
She knows everybody. So we've got to see it so much more. We need a holiday after this holiday because we've done so much. We've played some netball. I mean, we're playing 7 games altogether.
Yeah, 7 games. I guess being in the Barbados diaspora, I'm fortunate, and in the netball world of Barbados, I've been around it. So I had a lot of contacts. So we've got 7 games. We had a game with Stilettos, which was from Holders Hill. We had a game with Police Boys and Girls. We have a game with Rangers. Then we had UE. We've got 2 games with UE. We played one tonight. We've got one tonight.
Where's the game, by the way, tonight?
Tonight is at UE, so actually at the
UE complex. Okay,
the
good.
UE
All right.
complex.
We're going to win this one, Barbados. Don't you worry. Yes.
And then we have Pride of Villa as well. That will be tomorrow at Dover's Court. And we've played, have I said everybody?
Shotters last night.
We've played Shotters last night from the north. So we've had...
And I'm a North boy.
Are you
defeated
North?
my team.
Oh, yeah.
That's all right.
We've had some good games, and we've had a lot of games. It's been a good, compact itinerary for netball. And today, later when we finish here, we've put on a coaching clinic for 2 schools of Barbados. So forgive me if I'm saying the words wrong because we have different pronunciations, but we're doing a coaching clinic with Coach and Parry. You call it CP.
That's my school, Coleridge and Parry. That's right. That's my secondary school.
Oh, right.
Yes.
So we have a coaching clinic with them today, and also Graydon Seeley.
Yes.
School. We're also doing it with them. So we'll be delivering that on Dover Court.
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
Very nice. Both the Coleridge and Parry, our school.
Yeah.
And then you're going.
No.
Both are coming to the Dover Court.
To Dover Court today.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you'd get to tour my school compound.
That would have been nice. Yeah.
You guys went to Oystons?
We did.
Yes,
Look at the picture right there. Look at the smiley faces. All of you had the time of you. Boy, did you guys get around?
Yes.
Hannah, how was Oystons?
It was so good. We saw Michael Jackson. We saw Superman. Spider-Man. Yeah, it was really fun.
Did you eat the fish? Did you have fish?
Yeah, I had swordfish. It was so good. So good.
Oh, I envy you. I so envy you because it's such an experience.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, and Barbadians just love it.
Yeah.
Barbadians just love being in Oystons. I'm glad that you had a really good time while you're here. I'm sorry you beat us, but we're thankful for the coaching.
Yeah.
We're thankful for the exchange of ideas and experiences and everything else because we love it. We love it. And I mean, after all, this is Little England. So it's good to have our brothers and sisters in from cold Manchester, but you're here.
Yes.
And we're glad that you're here. Thank you so much for bringing them to us.
Oh, no, you're welcome. Thank you for having us. And I'd like to just thank all the teams that we've played for hosting us because it's like Hannah said, it's been great. We've played, you go in there, you're competitive. When it's finished, it's like everybody's just won. And we've had loads of presents, after the game.
Yes,
you get Kiwi, a Barbados towel. They've just been really nice with us.
When are you leaving?
We're leaving on the 16th of April.
That is the 13th. 3 more days. 3 more days.
If you see the team, paradise.
Just welcome the team as we do it. Give them the warm Barbadian welcome as we always do to our guests on island indeed. And so, Daddy, thank you so much for forming this.
Thank you.
For forming the DNA and creating opportunity for people to just enjoy the game of netball and to move, to get a sport and to enjoy it indeed and to travel the world through that sport as Hannah now is able to do and her rest of her members as well, the team. Congratulations to all of you. I wish you well and a safe return to Manchester. All right?
Okay, thank you so much.
And don't be strangers. We're just Morning Barbados. Find us online. See us all the time.
Definitely.
Thank you so much indeed all.
Thank you.
We are so happy to have them with us indeed. And that's it for today. My little crew joins me saying to all of you, have a terrific today. And be it the will of the Lord, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.